Hello, how's everyone doing? Today I'm doing an upper body workout consisting of a incline bench press. I'm going to superset that with incline rows with the dumbbells, then onto lateral raises, and then a couple of sets on like biceps and triceps. And this is pretty much what I do most of the time, so an upper body and lower body split. So after I've done a couple of mobilisation exercises on my shoulders, go straight onto the bench press. Yeah, I don't put anything on the bar. This bar weighs 10 kilos. So I normally do around 20 reps with this, and then I'll do a warm-up set on for my back. I should probably speed up some of the sets so it's not so boring. All you're doing in the warm-up is just trying to increase your core temperature, and obviously you're preparing your muscles for the exercise. I'm probably using, I think I'm using 12.5 kilos or 15 kilo dumbbells here. Do a bunch of these, get your back nice and warmed up. Then I just go straight back onto the bench press, and I've put on two 10 kilo plates each side here, so that's 30 kilos in total, which is, I don't know, what's that? So it's 2.2 pounds to a kilo, so I'll be going in kilos here, but just times it by 2.2 if you want to know what it is in pounds. Back onto another warm-up set on my back. So I just increased the weight, and I normally half the reps. So I normally do like a 15, 8, 4, 2, something like that. And I'm probably using 20 kilo dumbbells here, I think. So probably about 8 reps. And then go back onto another warm-up set, my bench press, and this will be 50 kilos here. Please excuse my gut sticking out here. Yeah, so I've just done about 6 reps on this. Make sure you stick your chest out, shoulders back when you're doing your bench press. Back onto the rows again. Yeah, so just using, I think I'm using 25 kilo dumbbells here, just do like 4 reps. And 60 kilos on here, so that'll just be, I'll just do a couple of reps of these. Showing you my 6-pack again. Alright, so this is first working set, 70 kilos, 154 pound. Like a little calculator here. 154 pound. Alright, so 8 reps. So I add my own sound effects. So these are 32 kilo dumbbells here, if you're interested. Now let's do 8 reps of these. Now I like doing basic sets where you keep the weight the same, rather than doing drop sets, pyramid sets. I'm not a huge fan of that. I do it sometimes, but I like to stick with basic numbers. So yeah, so when I do compound exercise and I'm supersetting, I'll rest for 4 minutes. So do my reps on my chest, set a timer for 4 minutes. I'll rest like a minute or so, then do my back. I need that amount of rest just so I can keep the reps around about the same. Obviously it's more time consuming, but it's just the way I like to train. Make sure you breathe in on your way down, or hold your breath at the top, nice deep breath, lower the weight, and then breathe out as you push the weight up. Try and get full range of motion as often as you can without damaging yourself and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, 70 kilos again, 8 reps. And then same thing with the incline rows. Same weight, 32 kilos, 8 reps again. I want to try and get as close to failure as possible. When you get in your 50s, it really just it just take it out of you a little bit. You've trained to failure, and just remember, the harder you train or the more intense you train, the more rest you need. Okay, don't go to failure in every single set. That's ridiculous. Yes, out of those, back onto bench press again. Put my wrist straps on. Yeah, it's probably around about this time I was thinking about when I'm next going to bake some scones. If you're not sure what scones are, if you're not from the UK, well, it's not quite a cake, it's not quite bread, it's kind of in between. Made out of flour and milk and all that crap. So over here we put clotted cream and jam on it. Absolutely smoking. Not sure why I mentioned that. Back onto back again. The thing I like about this exercise, it's less pressure on my lower back. I love doing bent over rows, but I just can't do them anymore. I've got like a herniated disc. But this takes the pressure off, obviously, because you're leaning on the bench. Next set of bench press, I've completely forgotten what set this is. I normally do 4 to 5 sets on both exercises. I used to do the old push-pull thing, you know, chest, shoulders and triceps the one day and back and biceps the next. In fact, I used to do back, biceps and calves, then legs on another day. As I've got older, I train less. I have another extra rest day in the week. I just feel like I'm not working the body parts often enough if I do it that way, which is why I do the upper body, lower body split. And of course, the most important thing with your training, just do something you enjoy doing. You know, that's always going to be the most important factor. You know, there are some exercises that are more beneficial than others, but if you don't like them, there's kind of no point doing it. You need to do something that you want to stick with. You're happy to do a few days a week. Okay, if you're just starting out in your 50s, it doesn't really matter too much what you do. Just make sure you do it. Just want to make sure you've got good technique, lots of warming up and stretching. Yeah, just do something you enjoy. Just pick the exercises you like doing. And of course, it depends on what equipment you've got access to as well, especially if you're training at home. And okay, last set of bench press. In fact, I think I put another 10 kilos on here. I think I did 80 kilos. Yeah, 80 kilos, that's 176 pounds. Let's do a couple of reps of that. And then rather than do another set of the incline rows, just do a couple of pull-ups. Now I like to have my hands neutral, or my shoulders neutral like this. I don't like a pronated grip where your palms are facing down. That hurts my elbow too much. A couple of those. Try and get full range of, well, I say try and get full range of motion. If you can't do a full range of motion, just do what you can. I like to get as much range of motion on this as possible. Okay, so from there, I go on to lateral raises, seated lateral raise. I've recently started doing these. I used to do them standing up, but I quite like the extra little bit of stretch at the bottom. Even though there's not much tension there, I quite like it. So I'm using 10 kilos here. So 10 reps of those. At this point, I'm getting tired. Yeah, I don't take any pre-workouts or anything like that because my heart would explode. Set 2. Another 10 reps. Sometimes I superset these with a tricep exercise. I don't like supersetting shoulders with biceps because you use your shoulders to stabilize your arms when you do bicep exercises, so kind of interferes with it a little bit. Yeah, and then from there I did a couple of sets of dips. These are definitely getting harder as I get older. Just watch yourself when you're doing these. It puts a lot of strain on your shoulders, so don't force yourself again to do full range of motion. Okay, you just do what's comfortable. And yeah, so just do a couple of sets of these. So this is primarily for your triceps. It works your chest and your front delts a little bit. If you lean forward a bit more, it'll bring your chest into it a bit more. Yeah, and then from there onto the last exercise, biceps. Now I don't do biceps that often anymore because I've just got too many pains. I used to have a friend that was an arm wrestler. Well, I think he still is an arm wrestler, and he just completely wrecked my arms years ago. I just keep trying to find different ways of doing my biceps without it hurting because I really struggle. So these are, what are these? 12.5 kilo dumbbells, which is just, you know, I should be able to lift a lot more than that, but it's just not working for me. So I think 15 reps I think on that. And second set, is it about 9-10 reps? I can't remember now. The advantage of being on an incline like this with your biceps, you get more of a stretch. I'm not saying this is the best way of building your biceps. If I was going to pick one single bicep exercise, it would be just a standard straight barbell. I think whatever exercise you can lift the most weight on is probably the most beneficial overall. Third and final set of these, and I'll do a drop set on this. I'm going to start off with 15 kilos. And drop down to 12.5, then drop down to 10. And some other good bicep exercises like preacher curls if you've got access to one of those. Like I said, just a standard straight barbell curl, they're good. Alternate dumbbells as well. You know, standing up, doing one arm at a time. do one arm at a time, you can get more reps out because you're going to be slightly stronger. Like I said before, it doesn't matter too much which exercises you pick, as long as you're doing them correctly and as long as you enjoy them. Anyway, that was my workout. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye bye.